Okay, back in the 80s, there was this TV commercial, and the lyric was, "What will you do with all the money you'll save?" Right? So there was this whole note that was held, and then there was a counterpoint melody that dropped below it. And both of them started on the whole note, but the melody, or the harmony to it, dropped down like this. What will you do with all the money you'll save? While the top note held, what will you do with all the money you'll save? So here's what I want you to do. I want you to try to do both parts. Now let's slow it down just a little bit so it's easier. What will you do with all the money you'll save? There's the root. Practice that first, and then practice the counterpoint melody playing back my root note so that you can hear how the turboprop kind of aligns with different notes as it descends in the scale, like this. What will you do with all the money you'll save? Okay, so practice that. What will you do with all the money you'll save? And practice it against, what will you do with all the money you'll save? And you'll hear how you can start on the root note and actually hear the notes and still be able to maintain pitch by holding the original root note in your mind and descending down to the bottom note. This will be really helpful. Now let's bring it up to speed. What will you do with all the money you'll save? Second time through. What will you do with all the money you'll save? And I think you'll like where this is headed and how this goes. So, okay, blending. Now blending is kind of interesting because it can incorporate the feeling of the passaggio. And you can add a certain amount of air or different bright timbres or softer timbres or warmer timbres into the sound in order to create blending. Now for the most part, true blending in the sense of a choir or trying to blend with someone else, the least brassy sound is usually the better so it doesn't compete with the lead vocalist or the soloist, whoever that is, or if you're trying to blend with a choir. So instead of, baby, 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 right, we go, baby, baby, baby. We'll add it and it will have much more of an air. Baby, 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 baby. We'll add a lot more air to that sound in order to be able to blend with someone. So let me give you an example of this. Gabriel, I want you to sing, what will you do with all the money you'll save? Try that. What will you do with all the money you'll save? Okay? What will you do with all the money you'll save? You're going to sing that same note all the way through. Go ahead, try it.
What will you do with?
Yeah. With all the money you'll save.
With all money I'll save.
Oh, now I'm going to do it with you. One, and you hold the note. I'm going to sing in your timbre, and then I'm going to do a harmony to come off of you for a second. Okay, ready? Same thing. Ready? 1, 2, 3, and.
What?
Good. 3, 4.
What will you do with all the?
No, stay in your same
Oh,
note. No, don't change. Stay in your note.
Yeah.
Okay, 3, 4.
What will you do with all the money you'll save?
You kind of got flat on me. Hold your pitch. 3, 4.
What will you do with all the money you'll save?
Okay, now, I tried to match her. She has a little more of a velvety texture to her voice. So I went, what will you do with all the money you'll save? And I put a lot of air in the sound because I wanted to match her tone, okay? So blending in several different contexts here. When you're singing with one solo artist, I don't want to go, what will you do? And hit it really hard. I want, what will you do with all the money? And I want to come underneath her vocal, not compete directly with it, try to match as much as her timbre as I can, but not go head to head with her on the same sound. So I'm going to add a little more air, a little more warmth, and a little more texture to the sound to support her voice rather than competing with her voice, okay? Now, in a choir situation, let's say her and I were both going to go, what will you do with all the money you save? Right? And there's 50 of us, and we all want to blend. We're not going to go, what will you do with all the money you save? Ah! You know, we're not going to do that, right? What we're going to do is we're going to blend gently together, and do it with me, real airy and gently. What will you do with all the money you save? Right? And we can blend and texture these voices. Now let's do it a little brighter this time. 3, 4. What will you do with all the money you save? Cool. Now you hold the whole tone that, and I'll go down this time. Same timbre. Ready? 3, 4. What will you do with all the money you save? Okay, now notice our timbre got brighter and brighter as we went along. Now, same thing with a really airy sound, super. What will you do with all the money? And we're just adding different amounts of air into the sound in order to be able to create a different texture. So a percentage of air, I'm turning up the percentage of air. So we're going to, what will, kind of fluty. Ready? You hold the note. What will you do with all the money you save? Okay, so you hear how we can blend this sound with different percentages of air depending on who we're with, what their voice type is like, if we're singing in a choir, if we're singing against a soloist, try to match their voice type. So it's good to understand who and what their timbre is and what kind of voice they have, how we can best come along and support and blend their sound. It's called This One's For You, and it goes like this.
I've heard all the stories about days gone by, adolescent fantasies all gone awry. Let me just say this one time, this one's for you. So you wanna be a big star, thinking big hair and fast talk will go far. You tell your soul to be a Mr. Big, no matter what you do, don't you quit your day gig. Oh, this one's for you. We call the boys out of their share of the loot. We're even selling anaconda in Beirut. Well, on top of the world, yeah, you scream and shout. What you gonna do when all your hair falls out? Oh, this one's for you, you. Here's to all the folks that don't hear the hit. Well, let me tell you from the don't give a treat of one life, hanging home by a three-piece son. She smokes a big cigar and says, let's do lunch. This one's for you, for you, for you, for you. Checks in the mail, well, don't react, well, it don't mean jack. Till you got that contract down. What you know, but you know to get you through. That's true. We'll call you. This one's for you. This one's for you. This one's for you. For you.
Okay, so like I said, there's a lot going on here. Now, the key to this isn't about belting and wailing. In fact, the key is quite the opposite. It's about learning how to blend. And now I'm singing polychords, which are chords on top of chords. And it's about blending within certain things. And, you know, I love that kind of, you know, kind of fast, stabby, like it sounds like a trumpet stab vibrato. I know it's not technically correct, but it's actually just a stylistic thing. Anyway, and then being able to get brassy on the sound, knowing how to go, hey, having that part. And then, I've heard all the stories about days gone by, adolescent
iridescent fantasies all gone awry. Well, let me just say this one time, this one's for you. So you've got to have that breathy, airy thing to be able to mix and blend, and then know when to get brassy on the sound when you want the vocal to stand out and pop above the rest of the track. So anyway, just a fun bit, another kind of quirky thing to do. Thank you for joining me, Ken Temple Vocal Academy, and we have more coming your way.